Thank you so much. And I find it interesting that we're having a hearing about vaccine mandates and we're not talking about immunity. So you can achieve immunity through two different pathways. One is infection-acquired immunity, which is very well known, very well recognized and accepted, but rarely talked about when it comes into context of COVID-19. And you can achieve immunity through vaccinations. And throughout the discussion this morning, what I've not heard is any acknowledgement or addressing that there can be infection-acquired immunity from COVID-19, and therefore we should be talking about immunity as a whole. In addition to which, as I recall, in the American Rescue and Recovery Act, or the COVID-19 bill that was passed earlier this year, there was $47.8 billion that was appropriated for testing for COVID-19. And I think when we're talking about small businesses, how small businesses can get through this if there's a vaccine mandate, that I'd like to see some of that money utilized for small businesses to be able to conduct testing on their employees. Mr. Hecker, the Biden administration officials have claimed that employers not in compliance with the forthcoming OSHA emergency temporary standard mandate could receive fines up to $14,000 per violation. However, the budget reconciliation bill approved by the Democrats on this committee includes massive penalty increases for violations of the Occupational Safety and Health Act, which would give the Department of Labor the authority to assess fines as high as $700,000 for certain violations. How would the threat of substantial penalties under current law impact businesses struggling to comply with the rushed and burdensome ETS?
Yes. Representative Miller-Meeks, I appreciate the question. The increased penalties that were passed, if you're a small business, particularly a $700,000 violation could be threatening to your business, could put you out of business. Expect the company litigation if you challenge it. I anticipate that we'll see a lot of press around violations under the ETS should it survive or pass legal muster and go into effect, because OSHA is it's not a large agency, and it's going to look for other deterrence mechanisms. Former Assistant Secretary for OSHA, David Michaels, who served under the Obama administration, tweeted back in October of 2020, just about a year ago, almost to the day, that one OSHA press release is worth about 210 inspections on the sort of deterrence and enforcement front. So I think you can expect that kind of approach here. When OSHA issues a citation, it will issue that press release, and these large numbers will look splashy. What they won't do is withdraw that press release or correct it if those violations that were issued are modified or overturned or withdrawn by OSHA or by a court. So this bet the company litigation to challenge a violation that is one willful, two willfuls gets you to $1.5 million. That will be difficult, I think, and it costs money to hire someone to battle for you, someone like my law firm. Though I would like to say to Ms. Luther, we're happy to counsel Columbia in any and all aspects here, including accommodations. That's what we've been doing throughout, is to navigate the complexities and the fractured response to the pandemic that I don't think this ETS will actually fix that issue and provide the uniformity that employers are looking for.
Yeah, and Mr. Hecker, thank you for that. Like you, I have been double vaccinated, fully vaccinated, as has my husband, as have my children. I've administered vaccines in all 24 of the counties in my congressional district. I've talked people and persuaded people to become vaccinated, but I also respect their desire and willingness to be vaccinated. And it seems to me that when we do not recognize infection-acquired immunity, which does provide immunity, the studies that have come out of Israel and other studies have shown that it is as beneficial as vaccination, and in some cases may be more beneficial because it's not only to the spike protein, that we're not addressing that. And we could have the same accommodations for individuals in the workplace as we've had throughout the pandemic, knowing that most infections occur at home or elsewhere outside the workplace. So I think that it's a very burdensome regulation. The testing requirements on small businesses will put some of these small businesses out of business, which is the last thing we want to do in a struggling economy. So thank you very much, and I yield back my time.